Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar. Tons of awesome games have been out this week. Tony Hawk Pro Skater really kind of surprised me and I'm in love with it. But there's another game that got announced in one of the weirdest ways, one that I actually really want to get. If you haven't heard about it, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Yeah boy! You're gonna get Super Mario 64, they go get Sunshine, and they're gonna get my favorite 3D Mario game, Super Mario Galaxy, on Switch in one cartridge. Oh yes, and ladies and gentlemen, it's for a limited time only. What? Let's get into the fun part of the video. So let's start off with a little edumacation. Now, even if you dislike me, at least you can say that you learned something on Some Ordinary Gamers. Now, first part of this video is artificial scarcity, okay? Now, this is something that Nintendo is kind of not really guilty of, right? Like, they haven't been proven guilty, but it's something that they definitely get into, at least from the outside looking in. Now, look, Xboxes and PlayStations, you know, it's in their interest to have as many people use their systems, right? It's very cutthroat. That's how it works. Now, it's always in Nintendo's interest that it works that way too. But let me guide to you what the artificial scarcity model for Nintendo kind of looks like. So, bear with me, this MS Paint level instructional tutorial, okay? Let's say that this is the game, alright? Super Mario, alright? This is the big game, and Nintendo expects 1 million people are gonna buy this, right? Let's just go with that fucking number. Now, what they do is they effectively make, like, fucking 750K copies of this. And they ship it to store number A, store number B, and store number F, alright? I wasn't really good at alphabets, you could probably tell. Now, these copies go individually to these stores. And the reality is, you might be wondering, well, Muta, why are they making 250,000 copies less than what they expected? Well, a lot of it is actually better if they actually underproduce these copies, right? And they underproduce them so that when you actually end up going to the store and they end up selling out of like 30, 40 copies, they don't have any leftover copies that are going to be counted as complete losses. Now that you understand that underproducing copies is good, that's something that's actually a smart business decision, let's talk about how these games are then distributed. So let's go to store number A, okay? Store number A gets like, I don't know, 60 copies of the game, all right, which is like, I think it's fairly normal. They probably get way more, but let's go with them getting 60 copies. Store A gets 60, but turns out 100 people came out to buy the game. So 60 of the 100 people actually get it. That actually leaves 40 people without the fucking game. Now, the thing about it is, those 40 people will eventually get the game anyways. If they look hard enough, they will find it. The reality of this is, this creates something called artificial scarcity. And what happens here is it triggers something psychological in people's brains. So the 40 people that don't have the game, all right, they're going to be reading a bunch of articles and news reports that come out that day about, oh man, Nintendo games are running out of stock. Oh shit, I better get these before they run out of stock. Oh, they're going out of production. If I don't get this for Timmy, my wife's gonna leave me. Oh shit, they're gonna be gone. No. If only I had bought them when they fucking came out. You'll always hear and read news reports of these games running out of copies. Oh shit, you can't get your hands on any of this. It's the same tactic that's employed by merch companies that release drops of clothing. Like, they make 50 like hoodies and 100 people will want them. They'll immediately be sold out as soon as the product goes live. Same thing with toys companies, right? Like children's toys. You ever wonder how hard it is for you to buy a children's toy on Christmas? It's not because they don't have the stock. It's because they actually underproduce that stock willingly, so that it looks like it's a scarce product. It's called artificial scarcity. It triggers something psychological. If there is less of something and it's running out, you're probably more inclined to buy that product. Now, of course, Nintendo isn't inherently guilty of it. There's no actual evidence, or empirical evidence rather, that proves this. But this is the one company that over the years, and because of their toy history, their toy company history, this is not something you can put past Nintendo. Now, of course, they've actually gotten far better over the years, and there have been blatant cases of Nintendo being accused of artificial scarcity back in the days of the Wii, but that was actually because of its supply chain issues, so Nintendo isn't, again, inherently guilty of it, but you can see how this hypes up. How many times have we seen Nintendo in the news for, like, having a product that's just so rare to get? I mean, when the Switch was launching, and to its credit, they made enough of the Switch at the time to sell to the market, but it was definitely hitting the news. And there's no doubt that that was fucking great advertising for the company, all right? Trust me, when Nintendo makes less of a product, all right, if they do, and it gets into the news, you bet, as far as all the gaming companies are considered, that is the best fucking press to have. So that's pretty much the whole gist of artificial scarcity, all right? You understand it now? You get how something is scarce, is suddenly wanted by people who may not have had the inclination to buy it beforehand. Now you figured out, we can go to the next part of the video. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. So this game has finally been showcased, and for all things considered, this is a mega thread that basically covers all of the actual complaints, and I'm going to go down through this point by point just to give you my take on it. $60 is too much for old games, and 3D All-Stars should be cheaper. I actually think that for the games that you're getting, pretty solid deal. Maybe $50 is the proper price point, but $60 for all that, you're getting a fair bit of game. Factor in portability and the upscaling, not too bad. Again, you could probably do it on an emulator anyways and get away with a better product, in my opinion. 3D All-Stars is not a complete remake, it's just upscaled versions of older games. Hard agree. I feel like when it comes to remakes and remasters, rather, there's a good way to do it and there's a lazy way to do it. Don't get me wrong, this is a lazy way to do it. I mean, to the point where if you look at the original trailer and its comparison to the thing, you can see that it's upscaled in comparison. But look closely, you can see that it looks like it's 4:3, meaning that it's not even fucking widescreen if we're to believe what they have in the trailer. I hope that's not the case, but that's pretty goddamn fucking lazy. Now, I usually would prefer a remake like Halo 2 Anniversary, but hey, we all can't have what we want, right? Galaxy 2 is not included in the collection. Yeah, I'd like it, but hey, there's still plenty of games in there, and I can't complain about the lack of games that are available already. The release of the game will only be available until the end of March 2021, when it will be discontinued from both physically and digitally. Oh fuck, let's go back to part 1 of the video, artificial scarcity. Now if you don't know, in March 2021, I believe, this game will actually go off sale, meaning that you won't be able to buy it physically new, and you also won't be able to buy it digitally from their shop. Now physical, I could understand. Hey, they're not manufacturing the copies anymore. But can we just fucking talk about how stupid it is that this game isn't released digitally? Like, we're talking, unless you lost the rights to sell your own fucking exclusive game, which, trust me, Nintendo will not, I don't see how discontinuing the digital version makes any fucking sense at all. Ladies and gentlemen, it costs them literal pennies, if that, to distribute each copy digitally if we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it. They could keep this going for decades on it, and it's not like they're gonna make less sales. This is gonna be a multi-million-dollar banger of a release on the Switch. People will eat that physical copy up. People will eat that digital copy up. I know that I want to play this game, and I know tons of millions of other people will do as well. The fact that they're discontinuing it, it shows me that maybe they're allergic to money, or they've realized that when this game comes out, Nintendo knows most of a video game's sales is during its first month. So they'll make their sales, and they're going to instill that psychological bullshit that we talked about in the first part of this video so that people buy the game as it comes out, and they can secure these sales and make their shareholders and themselves pretty goddamn happy with massive sales done in these quarters that this game is being sold. Now, that said, that was kind of conspiracy-ish, but you can see where I'm coming from, what they're trying to achieve. Then you get to the last points where Super Mario 64 is based off the N64 release and not the DS release. Nintendo just released both fucking versions of 64 on the cartridge. I don't think it's much of a licensing issue and a storage issue. I know you can do it. Please do it. In handheld mode for Mario Galaxy, star bits are collected with the touchscreen. Yes, in portable play, that's an option. I'm totally okay with that. It had waggle controls. Give them something. Super Mario 64 appears to be based on the Shindu version of the game. Now, if you don't know anything, basically, in this last segment, when he throws Bowser away, Mario has this dialogue where he says, "So long, King Bowser," and it sounds like gay Bowser. All right, so haha, funny, ooh, epic, funny meme. All right, that's what it is. But the Shindu version actually has a lot of the bugs and issues patched out, which kind of would affect speedrunners. Again, can we just say that this isn't much of a storage issue? How awesome would it be if they allowed every version of the game to be just be present? Just make everyone happy. You have the ability. Just do it, Nintendo. That's the smart way to handle it. But with all that said, these are the actual big issues about Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Now, for the most part, I'm okay with this. I'm actually totally happy with this release. This is a fucking good release. I want to play these Mario 3D games again on my Switch. The only problem I have with this release is that limited time release that they have going on. I could understand physical sales, all right, being limited to March 2021, manufacturing issues. Why are they literally keeping a digital release exclusive and timed? It literally like, even if Nintendo was never exposed for being part of the artificial scarcity conspiracy, this fucking feeds into it full send, and I'm not going to deny that exists. Hell, if you go to eBay right now, literal cum stains, because of the fact that this is a scarce product, they are now preying on the actual individual. The pre-orders, do not doubt me, if you haven't secured your pre-order for this game, it probably will be fully sold out in terms of pre-orders in the next week or two, because it's a rare game. Manufacturing is limited. So on eBay, you got all these people who are selling the game for like $89.95. This is US prices, this isn't Canadian shit. $79.99, $137 fucking dollars, $110, all right? They're literally going with confirmed sales. Some of these are actually sponsored, and I think that's them, like, actually trying to sell the fucking ad or trying to push their sale up to the top. I don't know how that works, but it feels like it. Hell, if you go all the way down, there are some sales for $350 and $30 shipping. Just make it free at that point. $350? You can get a fucking Switch for that price, and these people are scamming you this hard. If you go here, apparently this one, last time I checked on it, all right, it had, 24 people viewing this per hour. This is insanity. You've already got scalpers within 48 hours doing this nonsense. It's insane. And if you don't believe in the artificial scarcity like conspiracy theory, at least understand this is how it works. All right, this is what it leads to. And this is something that, again, is an exclusive to Nintendo only. Tons of other cases of this exist, but it's usually the Nintendo products for video games and consoles that these scalpers are always tying into. If you go back to the NES Mini, which was one of the biggest cases of scalping that actually happened with Nintendo very recently, you can see how bots, these people legitimately bought up entire stock of NES Mini and started selling it on the market like crazy. Hell, even if we go now and try to look up NES Minis, you got people still selling authentic NES Minis for $165 fucking dollars. It's only until now that Nintendo has started to really push the sock that these prices have started to harmonize properly. It's not okay. It's something that Nintendo should address, but again, I don't think they really care. All in all, though, I'm excited for this game to finally showcase, and if anything, I am 99% completely happy about Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and personally, I want to play this when it comes out. The only thing that I don't understand, and it's completely going away from my mind, is why a digital version of this game is not going to be released indefinitely and actually has an expiry date onto it. To me, that seems really weird, and honestly, piracy will probably be a way that a lot of people will preserve this game and actually play it on their Switches if they can happen to get this game by March 2021 or whenever this game is actually going to be taken out of circulation. It's fucking weird to me. That's the only thing that doesn't make any sense. But overall, I can't complain. These are 3 super awesome fucking Mario games, especially Super Mario Sunshine, that are finally available for portable play, and I can't complain. The only thing I can actually also complain about is the fact that that's 4x3 in the Nintendo Switch section. Listen, there's hacked copies of the game that are 16:9. Can we at least have 16:9? Okay, I'm not talking about like ultra wide like this. I'm talking at least 16 by 9, daddy. But that being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I'm going to go play more Tony Hawk and Yakuza, and I can't wait to play Mario when it comes out. This is me, Muda, and I am out.